The 2023 election is in the books. Michigan Democrats losing the majority in the House, at least for now. Abortion rights winning big in Ohio and Kentucky, and Virginia Democrats now ruling the state House and Senate. So tonight, what are the big election takeaways?
Joining us to discuss is Dave Dulio, director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start here in Michigan. So 2 state representatives ran for mayor in Metro Detroit and won. So opening up their seats, this could create a huge change going forward in Lansing.
Major changes in Lansing. I think the noise that we're hearing are the tires that are screeching and screeching to a halt in the state capitol. This fact that the 2 mayoral candidates that won are going to, at some point in the next couple of weeks, have to leave the state legislature means that it's going to be 54-54 in the state House. Democrats will still have a majority in the state Senate, but that 54-54 tie in the state House likely means gridlock, right? With things have gone so in such a partisan direction in the first 10, 11 months of this year in this session that prospects for bipartisanship might be few and far between.
Now, with that in mind, is there any chance they try to rush anything through in these next couple of weeks?
Absolutely. That's no doubt the case. Even before these election results were known, there was talk and speculation that the House was going to wrap up its business for the year in the next week or 10 days because of this possibility and because of some other legislative maneuvering that needs to be done in order to have our presidential primary in February.
So it's interesting you say that, because I was more of the thought that maybe some people are going to try to figure out who they can work with, but you're seeing this more of this is the culture that's been created and there's just going to be a standoff.
Yeah, and I think the signal was sent in that the House was planning to wrap up its work in the next week or so, right? That without any real forward looking to, okay, maybe after these folks are in their mayoral positions, we can actually work on some bipartisan legislation. That doesn't seem to be the case. Of course, we'll see what happens if, in fact, they do shut down for the year in the next week or so. And then when do they come back, maybe in 2024, depending on when those special elections that will need to be held to fill those 2 seats, when those are contested. The Democrats are going to have this 54-54 tie for a couple of months at least.
All right, so we will be following those developments in the legislature very closely, but let's zoom out a little bit from Michigan. Yesterday, a big day in Ohio, Kentucky. Abortion rights continue to be a huge topic of conversation around elections. How long can that go on?
Well, I think it's interesting to think about it from the perspective of when the Dobbs decision came down last year. It didn't outlaw abortion anywhere. It just sent the decision back to the states. So that's what's playing out. Now, it played out in Michigan last year when we had adopted a constitutional amendment to guarantee abortion rights to women in Michigan. The same thing happened in Ohio yesterday, and you're seeing it play out in different ways depending on the political culture of the states, right? So in some places, abortion is going to be much more accessible than in others. And that's kind of the idea of our federalist system, where it's up to each individual state to figure out its own politics around this.
Yeah. We've been pretty divided for a while now. Do you see that only getting worse just across the country as we move forward?
Certainly heading into a very contentious and what is likely to be a bitterly fought presidential election year. Absolutely. It's seemingly few candidates find a reason to give voters to vote for them. It's usually all about why not to vote for the other candidate, right? This negative partisanship that we're in is likely to just continue and I think get worse.
Slinging that mud. Right. Well, it's going to be a really fun 2024.
You know it.
Looking forward to that. We will have plenty to cover and to talk about. Dave, thanks so much for joining us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
Appreciate it.